hollow halls return, the sound of my regret. Every word I shouted is something I cannot forget. The mirror reflects a stranger with tear-stained eyes, trapped inside a labyrinth of our foolish lies. Footsteps bouncing off the marble staircase, searching for a single smile upon your face. But the house is empty, totally devoid of grace. Just the ringing vibration of an empty space, reverberating through the canyons of my mind, leaving the sweet illusions completely behind. The sound waves crash against the barricade, revealing the terrible mess that we made. It is a bitter echo ringing in my ear, bringing back the arguments I do not want to hear. The frequency of sorrow amplifying the pain, a sonic reminder that we went insane. A bitter echo playing on a constant loop, pouring salt into the wound, making my shoulders droop. The grandfather clock ticks like a beating drum, waiting for a peaceful moment that will never come. I threw my favorite whiskey glass against the door, listening to its shatter across the hardwood floor. The fragments tinkle like a discordant chime. We are out of rhythm, completely out of time. I hum a melody we wrote in our prime, but now it feels like committing a crime, reverberating through the canyons of my mind, leaving the sweet illusions completely behind. The sound waves crash against the barricade, revealing the terrible mess that we made. It is a bitter echo ringing in my ear, bringing back the arguments I do not want to hear. The frequency of sorrow amplifying the pain, a sonic reminder that we went insane. A bitter echo playing on a constant loop, pouring salt into the wound, making my shoulders droop. Yeah. I yell into the void, demanding a reply, asking the universe the ultimate reason why. But the void just mocks me, throwing it all back, a boomerang of guilt leading to a panic attack. Hello? Hello? Are you there? There? Nobody? Nobody? Just noise. It is a bitter echo ringing in my ear, bringing back the arguments I do not want to hear. The frequency of sorrow amplifying the pain, a sonic reminder that we went insane. A bitter echo playing on a constant loop, turning the sound of my regret. Every word I shouted is something I cannot forget. The mirror reflects a stranger with tear-stained eyes, trapped inside a labyrinth of our foolish lies. Footsteps bouncing off the marble staircase, searching for a single smile upon your face. But the house is empty, totally devoid of grace, just the ringing vibration of an empty space, reverberating through the canyons of my mind, leaving the sweet illusions completely behind. The sound waves crash against the barricade, revealing the terrible mess that we made. It is a bitter echo ringing in my ear, bringing back the arguments I do not want to hear. The frequency of sorrow amplifying the pain, a sonic reminder that we went insane. A bitter echo playing on a constant loop, pouring salt into the wound, making my shoulders droop. The grandfather clock ticks like a beating drum, waiting for a peaceful moment that will never come. I threw my favorite whiskey glass against the door, listening to the chatter across the hardwood floor. The fragments tinkle like a discordant chime. We are out of rhythm, completely out of time. I hum a melody we wrote in our prime, but now it feels like committing a crime, reverberating through the canyons of my mind, leaving the sweet. Tracing the jagged lines, mapping out my pale skin, a permanent reminder of the battles I could not win. Every blemish tells a story of a deeply vicious fight, carved by a ruthless needle under fluorescent light. The surgical thread pulled tight across my broken flesh, trying to weave the torn tissue into a brand new mesh. But the blade cut deeply through the muscle and the vein, leaving a textured roadmap of excruciating pain. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way, a physical museum display in our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. Interlocked trauma etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. I wear long sleeves in summer to conceal the wretched shame. Bandages wrapping tightly around my fragile, battered frame. But the blood seeps through the cotton, staining it crimson red, exposing the brutal history I desperately want to shed. My fingertips run blindly over the bumpy, uneven terrain, reading the raised braille of your emotional hurricane. No ointment, no magical lotion can erase this brutal brand. We are permanently damaged, walking hand in hand. Our wounds are overlapping in a chaotic, messy knot, healing terribly poorly in the sensitive, tender spot. The lacerations bind us in a horrifying, ugly way, a physical museum displaying our profound decay. We bear these tangled scars, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. In a locked trauma, etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Fused together completely at the cellular, fleshy base, inseparable damage that no doctor can ever erase. We are a monstrous creation of surgical mistake, waiting for the final fragile suture to forcefully break. Slice it, bleed out, form a scab, never heal. We bear these tangled scars, high, intricate and profoundly deep, a gallery of nightmares, preventing us from going to sleep. In a locked trauma, etched forever, like a grim tattoo. I cannot separate my blemishes from the marks on you. Tangled scars, an intertwined labyrinth of old regret, a complicated woven tapestry we can never forget. Stitches pulled, tissue tears, marked for life, permanent damage. Staring at the digital map, glowing bright upon my screen, calculating the massive geography, sitting right between different time zones, making our communication completely out of sync, pushing my sanity rapidly toward the treacherous brink. Driving past the state line, reading the faded welcome board, living entirely out of a suitcase in an old beaten up Ford. The AM radio crackles with a terrible buzzing, static hiss, trying to ignore the comfort in hometown that I intensely miss. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separating our weary traveling souls, taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals. Singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Oh, distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains, eating greasy pancakes in a lonely roadside diner booth, pouring terrible black coffee while searching for the truth. The waitress calls me honey, but it does not sound the same. Nobody in this entire time zone even knows my middle name. Postage stamps and handwritten letters piled upon the desk, trying to keep our connection from turning grotesque. I trace your familiar handwriting with my index finger, allowing the romantic sentiment to temporarily linger. The cell tower signal drops as I drive through the mountain pass, looking at the blurry horizon through a bug-splattered glass. Thousands of miles separating our weary traveling souls, taking unexplainable tolls on our ultimate romantic goals. Singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, catching separate passing trains. Satellites floating in orbit, beaming down a delayed tech, constantly wondering exactly what is gonna happen next. We are just two tiny dots on a massive spinning globe, waiting patiently for a miracle, maintaining endless hope. Keep driving, keep flying far away, never close. Singing the distant blues, separated by the interstate, wondering if this separation is an act of cruel fate, a geographic nightmare tearing us completely apart, an agonizing marathon running directly through my heart. Distant blues spanning oceans, rivers, and the endless plains, riding on different airplanes, tunes catching separate passing trains. Engine stops, call connects, delay remains miles apart.
Press my fingers against the cool ivory keys, begging the wooden soundboard for a gentle breeze. But the hammers refuse to strike the metallic wire, extinguishing the passionate musical raging fire. I stare blankly at the completely empty manuscript, wondering where the beautiful harmony suddenly slipped. The tuning fork hums but finds no matching pitch. We are stuck permanently in this unmusical ditch. I adjust the microphone, but there is no vocal to record, just the devastating absence of a single meaningful word. My vocal cords are paralyzed by the unspoken grief, praying for a sonic wave to bring a moment of relief. The frequency drops entirely off the audible chart, a deafening quietness tearing our rhythm apart. We lost the tempo, we forgot the fundamental beat, surrendering our masterpiece to an absolute defeat. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget.
The orchestra packed up their instruments and walked away, knowing there was absolutely nothing left for us to play. The conductor dropped his baton onto the dusty floor, closing the heavy curtain, locking the auditorium door.
I hum a phantom tune that nobody else can hear, a pathetic lullaby to conquer my overwhelming fear. The metronome ticks, but the time has ceased to exist, wandering aimlessly through a thick and musical mist. The frequency drops entirely off the audible chart, a deafening quietness tearing our rhythm apart. We lost the tempo, we forgot the fundamental beat, surrendering our masterpiece to an absolute defeat. Playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. We tried to harmonize, but our voices constantly clashed, until the entire musical foundation forcefully crashed. communicate through absolute terrifying mute, a ruined piano and a broken splintered wooden flute. Hush now, listen closely, hear nothing, total void, playing these silent chords into the vast unknown, standing on the concert stage, terribly and utterly alone. No melody can translate the magnitude of this despair, just a mute vibration hanging in the empty air. Silent chords, a symphony of unexpressed regret, the quietest tragedy that we will never forget. Fade away, drop the mic, close the lid, end the song. Fade away. I left the vintage bicycle outside during the pouring rain. Now the pedals refuse to turn on the stiff and jammed chain. The beautiful chrome handlebars are covered in an orange crust, transforming our shiny vehicle into a pile of useless dust.
The iron gateway screeches loudly when I push it open wide, exposing the junkyard of broken promises sitting right inside. Flakes of brown oxidation fall onto the muddy gravel path, the chemical reaction resulting from my terrible stubborn wrath. The moisture in the atmosphere slowly ate away the steel, corroding the foundation, destroying everything we feel. Neglect is a corrosive acid,
chewing through the solid plate,
realizing the
structural damage has been discovered too late. This is a rusting love, decaying in the dirty backyard. Trying to salvage the wreckage is incredibly, impossibly hard. We forgot to oil the hinges, we forgot to apply the grease, watching our mechanical connection break piece by piece. Rusting love, an oxidized monument of sheer neglect, a dilapidated structure we completely failed to protect.
I turn the ignition key, but the motor simply will not start. A metaphor for the terrible condition of my hardened heart. The hood is welded shut by years of absolute disregard, parked permanently inside this overgrown, miserable yard. The padlock on the cellar door lacks a matching functional key, sealing away the treasure chest of what we used to be. I scrape the surface with a wire brush, trying to find a shine, but the decay goes much deeper than the visible outer line. The moisture in the atmosphere slowly ate away the steel, corroding the foundation, destroying everything we feel. Neglect is a corrosive acid,
chewing through the solid plate, realizing the structural damage has been discovered too late. This is a rusting love, decaying in the dirty backyard. Trying to salvage the wreckage is incredibly, impossibly hard. We forgot to oil the hinges, we forgot to apply the grease, watching our mechanical connection break piece by piece. Rusting love, an oxidized mind sheer neglect, a dilapidated structure we completely fail to protect.
But the devastating process of weathering has officially won. No amount of polish can reverse this brutal chemical toll. We are just metallic scraps, lacking a functional beating soul. Metal grind, gears lock, flakes fall. Incredibly, impossibly hard. We forgot to oil the hinges. We forgot to apply the grease. Watching our mechanical connection break piece by piece. Rusting love and oxidized monument of sheer neglect, a dilapidated structure we completely fail to protect. Scrape it off, toss it out. Scrapyard calls, nothing left, nothing left. Every step I take feels like walking through thick mud. A sudden pressure drops, freezing up my rushing blood. I reach for the sky, but my arms are leaden weights, trapped below the atmosphere, sealed behind iron gates. The planet pulls me downward toward the solid dirt, wearing my exhaustion like a torn and ragged shirt. I cannot lift my boots, the terrain is far too steep, falling into an ocean that is incredibly deep. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Look up at the constellations, totally out of reach. We are stranded upon this desolate, ruined beach. My bones are aching from the atmospheric strain. Trying to stand upright feels completely in vain. The apples fall from the tree, hitting the roots. We are tangled in the vines, wearing heavy suits. No wings could ever lift this massive amount of stone. We are sinking into the crust, absolutely alone. We used to float upon a cloud of bliss, now we are plunging straight into the abyss. The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity sinking us to the ground. We are anchored to the bottom, tightly bound, cannot escape this massive crushing weight. We realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars,
sitting by the neon tavern sign, flickering outside, watching amber liquid pour as I swallow my pride. The bartender wipes the counter with a dirty rag, carrying this heavy sorrow in a leather bag.
Ice cubes melting slowly in this cylindrical glass, watching blurry strangers and midnight taxis pass. My tab is running high, but my spirit sinks so low. I drank the poison willingly, yet I cannot let you go. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. Empty bottles lined up like soldiers on the shelf. I am picking fights with the demons inside myself, stumbling through the alleyway, tripping on the curb, looking for a magic cure or some medicinal herb. The taxi driver asked me for an avenue or street, but I just stare blankly at the pedals on his feet. My destination vanished when you walked out the door. Now I am just a patron sleeping on the tavern floor. Intoxicated vision spinning wildly in my brain, drowning every single thought to tolerate the pain. The bartender yells that it is finally closing time, but I am busy punishing myself for this romantic crime. These are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. They say the liquor helps to sterilize the wound, but it only guarantees my sanity is ruined. The proof is in the bottle, the evidence is clear. I am fermenting all my sadness into liquid fear. Pour it, swallow hard, feel the burn, dizzy mind. Oh, these are whiskey regrets burning down my throat, burning down my throat, sinking like a stone inside a leaking boat. A massive morning headache that will never fade, paying the expensive price for choices that we made. Whiskey regrets stinging on my swollen tongue, a toxic melody that should have never been sung. The glass is empty, the bill is paid, staggering home, sober enough.
cast a terrifying gloom overhead, painting the afternoon sky a terrifying bruised red. I watch your silhouette standing by the bedroom door, a dark apparition that I cannot recognize anymore.
The luminance has vanished from your beautiful brown eyes, replaced by an abyss of complicated, twisted lies. I carry a brass lantern, but the kerosene has run dry, wandering blindly beneath this darkened twilight sky. My chest cavity feels like a damp subterranean cave, trapped inside this emotional, suffocating grave. The sun retreated behind a massive blocking moon, turning our joyful morning into a dreadful afternoon. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. The umber spreads quickly across the living room wall, waiting for the inevitable, terrifying curtain to fall. I reach out to grab your hand, but grasp only the air, stumbling around in this pitch black atmosphere. I try to strike a flint, but the sparks refuse to catch. We are completely incompatible, a terrible mismatch. The shadows grow taller, morphing into terrifying shapes, blocking out all the viable, accessible escapes. The lack of illumination breeds terrible lurking ghosts. We are serving as unwilling, miserable, haunted hosts. The twilight creeps inward, consuming the vibrant day, chasing every single ounce of brilliant light away. Living with a shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in the pitch black night, surrendering completely without putting up a fight. Photosynthesis requires a genuine, radiant beam, but we are living entirely inside a nocturnal dream. The darkness is absolute, a thick impenetrable cloak, choking out the fire until there is only smoke. Lights out, total dark, cannot see, blind love. Living with the shadowed heart, completely deprived of sun, a terrifying darkness that simply cannot be outrun. A total eclipse blocking out the affection we need, planting a nocturnal, poisonous, miserable seed. Shadowed heart, beating slowly in
I left the vintage bicycle outside during the pouring rain. Now the pedals refuse to turn on the stiffened jam chain. The beautiful chrome handlebars are covered in an orange crust, transforming our shiny vehicle into a pile of useless dust.
The iron gateway screeches loudly when I push it open wide, exposing the junkyard of broken promises
sitting right inside.
Flakes of brown oxidation fall onto the muddy gravel path,
a chemical reaction resulting from my terrible, stubborn wrath. The moisture in the atmosphere slowly ate away the steel, corroding the foundation, destroying everything we feel. Neglect is a corrosive acid, chewing through the solid plate. Realizing the structural damage has been discovered too late. This is a rust in love, decaying in the dirty backyard. Trying to salvage the wreckage is incredibly, impossibly hard. We forgot to oil the hinges, we forgot to apply the grease, watching our mechanical connection break piece by piece. Rusting love, an oxidized monument of sheer neglect, a dilapidated structure we completely failed to protect.
I turn the ignition key, but the motor simply will not start. A metaphor for the terrible condition
Of my hardened heart.
The hood is welded shut
By years of absolute disregard, parked permanently inside this overgrown, miserable yard.
The padlock on the cellar door lacks a matching
Functional key,
sealing away the treasure chest of what we used to be.
I scrape the surface with a wire brush, trying to find a shine, but the decay goes much deeper than the visible outer line. The moisture in the atmosphere slowly ate away the steel, corroding the foundation, destroying everything we feel. Neglect is a corrosive acid, chewing through the solid plate. Realizing the structural damage has been discovered too late. This is a rust in love, decaying in the dirty backyard. Trying to salvage the wreckage is incredibly, impossibly hard. We forgot to oil the hinges, we forgot to apply the grease, watching our mechanical connection break piece by piece. Rusting love, an oxidized monument of sheer neglect, a dilapidated structure we completely failed to protect.
Like polished silver sitting in the bright sun,
But the devastating process
of weathering has officially won.
no amount of polish can reverse this brutal chemical toll.
We are just
Metallic scraps lacking a functional beating soul.
the metal grinds, gears like
Flakes fall, corrode completely.
This is a rust in love,
structure we completely fail to protect.
Scrape it off, toss it out, scrapyard cars,
Nothing left. Every step I take feels like walking through thick mud. A sudden pressure drops, freezing up my rushing blood. I reach for the sky, but my arms are letting weights, trapped below the atmosphere, sealed behind iron gates.
The planet pulls me downward toward the solid dirt, wearing my exhaustion like a torn and ragged shirt. I cannot lift my boots, the terrain is far too steep, falling into an ocean that is incredibly deep.
We used to float upon a cloud of bliss. Now we are plunging straight into the abyss.
The invisible force is dragging us below, stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity
Sinking us to the ground.
we are anchored to the bottom,
Tightly bound, cannot escape this massive, crushing weight.
we realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity
Pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars.
Look up at the constellations, totally out of reach. We are stranded upon this desolate, ruined beach. My bones are aching from the atmospheric strain. Trying to stand upright feels completely in vain.
The apples fall from the tree, hidden the roots.
We are tangled in the vines,
Wearing heavy suits.
no wings could ever lift this massive amount of stone.
We are sinking into the crust, absolutely alone.
We used to float upon a
Cloud of bliss.
now we are plunging straight into the abyss.
The invisible force is dragging us below,
stopping the forward momentum, making us incredibly slow. Heavy gravity
sinking us to the ground.
we are anchored to the bottom,
Tightly bound, cannot escape this massive, crushing weight.
we realized our altitude was dropping too late. Heavy gravity
Pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars.
We defy the laws of physics when we first met, levitating high above without a single regret. But the universe demands an equal reaction. Now we are suffering this fatal attraction, pulling down, crashing hard, no escape.
Hidden bottom,
Heavy gravity
dropping too late. Heavy gravity pulling us from the stars, locking us forever behind invisible bars. Pinned down, rooted deep, no more flight, grounded forever. Thermometer plunges far below the 0 degree. A sudden blizzard sweeps right across the raging sea. I wrap my shivering arms around your rigid, stiffened spine, hoping to find a flicker of the warmth that once was mine.
My exhalation transforms instantly into a frosty fog, sitting upon this frozen, snow-covered falling log. Icicles begin to form upon my eyelashes and my beard. This absolute sub-zero temperature is exactly what I feared. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a single flaw. The mattress feels identical to an Arctic expedition, and during this blizzard is my only remaining mission. I pull the thick duvet up tightly against my chilly chin, but the drafts are penetrating deeply into my very skin. The radiator is broken, the pipes have completely burst. This polar vortex is undeniably the absolute worst. I seek refuge beside the hearth, but there is no kindling left of every single thermal comfort I have been bereft. Hypothermia is setting into our romantic core. The thermal energy is depleted, we cannot generate more. Every attempt at affection sends a shudder down my back, walking blindly across a glacier, waiting for it to crack. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, surviving the harshest elements without a
never melt this massive chill. We are frozen completely solid on this desolate, snowy hill. Shiver now, frostbite stings, numbness spreads, turning blue. Trapped in this cold embrace, freezing me to the bone, holding on to a statue carved from a glacial stone. We are shivering violently, desperately seeking the heat, but this frigid altitude guarantees our absolute defeat. A cold embrace, a winter that refuses to ever thaw, survive in the harshest elements without a single flaw.